Hey guys, what is up? This is Matt. Today is me once again. Welcome back to the movie review, aka After I Saw. This time is going to be on M3GAN 2.0, or M3GAN 2.0, but most people like to say M3GAN because it's spelled that way. It's always been spelled that way. There wasn't ever a time where they just called it M3GAN, but yeah. Anyways, with M3GAN 2.0, M3GAN just so happens to still be around even after she was defeated in the last movie. This time, she wants to redeem herself after another AI that is similar to her, just much more chaotic, called Amelia, wants to take over the planet, but she wants to try forming her way into redemption by using her power for good this time around, rather than just being another experiment gone wrong. Me and my friends went out and saw it because we went to go see the first movie together, which surprisingly was a lot of fun. Despite the fact that, it tackled elements of social commentary when it comes to AI programming, the movie never managed to slow down when it came to being just all around a fun time. Its campiness, despite the fact that it's PG-13, which doesn't matter anymore because you can watch the unrated version, which definitely has more of, what you would kind of wanted to see in the first place in terms of its chaotic nature, specifically with blood and cussing. But yeah, even though it was PG-13, it never bothered me because the movie knew what it was trying to do. And the fact that it was going to change things up with its sequel of making M3GAN good, or sort of good this time around, yeah, and the fact that she killed 4 people is all like, I want to redeem myself. But it's one of those scenarios where they try to change things up with the sequel, which is something that I really do appreciate because, hey, sequels where the bad guy can be good has been done before. Terminator 2, anyone, which was even better than the first one. And sometimes changing up genres can work as well. Alien did that with Aliens, another example, so who knows? Maybe this could be another big surprise, especially since it's from the same director of the first movie, Gerard Johnstone. And I would say this is just as good as the original, but it isn't. It isn't even close. I don't think this movie's bad. I'm gonna say this right off the bat. I do not hate this movie. I get where it was going for, but the way that they play it out, because in the first movie, it was clear how AI taking over isn't always a good thing. In fact, it could be the exact opposite. And the way it was handled in the first film in terms of what it was going for, being campy but also very smart, it knew what it was trying to do. So I can appreciate how it was trying to change things up because these movies, they are silly. I mean, M3GAN, when you look at her, really isn't all that scary. But regardless, she can be very entertaining, and why she became an instant meme for people, especially with that dance sequence. And yes, she does dance in this movie. I don't think it's nearly as iconic, though. Now, of course, characters from the first movie return as Katie is much more older, and she tries to be a little bit more badass, especially since she's 12 now. The movie is longer, lasting around 2 hours. It definitely doesn't feel like it really needed to be that long, especially since M3GAN doesn't really show up until like 20 minutes into the movie. Which, hey, I'm fine with the movie being slow. I mean, I expect the campiness to happen much later on. And yeah, it's campy. You shouldn't always take it seriously. But it's gotten to the point where the campiness kind of gets a little bit old. Because when it came to the first movie, its build-up was much more slower. And I feel like it was far more earned. While this time around, it just feels like it's going a little too overboard with the humor that it's trying to bring in. And now that it's an action film, it definitely doesn't work in the same way as it does in horror, believe it or not. Because we have a lot of action comedies, MCU in particular, and they've mostly been falling flat. And I feel like this time around, when it comes to the fact that, AI bad in the first movie, which is something that most people can agree on. But this time around, AI can be good. AI can work, but we just gotta use it in a good way, which is something that I feel like regardless, people are still going to be against AI, just due to the fact that it just makes projects far more lazier, and the fact is, people are scared it might ruin us as an economy if it does just, put others out of business, saying, no, AI can always work if done right. So yeah, the fact that it was trying to, do something a little different with its message, it just doesn't feel like it has that same impact of, how it worked in the first film. But hey, at least the movie's not trying to, be an entire like Megan's bad again, so and she's gonna take over again. She's got worse things on her, but yeah, but no, she's good this time. But hey, it could have worked in a sense where it can still have the campiness, but also bring in more of what it was going for. Because again, first movie wasn't always meant to be taken seriously, and the director knew what he was doing. And even though I am criticizing this movie quite a bit, it's not to say that I didn't have fun with the movie. I mean, it's obvious that the movie is trying to be silly. And for the most part, Megan herself, she's still entertaining, even though some of her lines of dialogue do get very old with the amount of, quotes she's trying to bring. But hey, I thought by far the funniest aspect when she was put in that plastic shell thing that was seen in the trailer. That was by far the most entertaining part when it came to her, rather than just, her getting into her new body. And I'm not really going to get into any major spoilers or anything like that. And, hey, actors, they're good. Not incredible, but they're good. And look, this movie can still be entertaining if you just want some campy action rather than just horror. Because while there are tiny bits of horror, it's very brief. And yeah, so I appreciate it for trying to do a different genre, as well as have Megan be the hero this time around, though of course she doesn't always gain her trust, as sometimes they question if she's, serious about wanting to change or whatnot. For some people, they'll probably just prefer if she was just a psychotic doll, because this would be like if Chucky just decided to be completely good. I mean, there was a time where one of the Chuckies in the TV series was good, but he also wasn't. But sometimes it just depends what you're in for when it comes to movies like this. And don't expect anything major, especially since, it's trying to change things around, not just with how they portray Megan, but in terms of what they're trying to bring in terms of its social commentary as well. AI bad in first movie? No. AI good in second movie. So, yeah, I'm just curious to know what exactly they decide to do if they do decide to greenlit M3.0 or whatever they would call the third movie. But it's just going to depend how well this movie does. And I definitely wouldn't recommend this over F1. But hey, even though I have been mostly negative, I still didn't hate it. For a fun, campy ride, when it does get to the action in terms of its campy style, Megan is still entertaining, even if her comedy doesn't nearly hit as hard as the first movie. Because the trailer for this movie got bashed by so many people just due to the changes it was making. And because it looked just... yeah, I could definitely see where they were coming from. In the end, guys, M3GAN 2.0, I could see what they were going for. You can still watch it just for some popcorn entertainment. But if you really wanted to watch a movie where it started off from horror to being action, I would recommend Aliens. If you want to see a movie where a robot was evil at first in the first film, but was reprogrammed to be good in the second one, I recommend Terminator 2. I see what it was trying to do in terms of what it was trying to bring into the commentary of AI this time around. But again, it's not going to be something that most people are going to agree on, especially when it comes to social media posts. They still don't want AI to take over. Hell, I don't want AI to take over. But who knows what's going to happen in the next 20 years. We might all be dead while robots are rising. I don't want to scare anyone, but I don't know. It probably won't happen, but I just hope this movie doesn't give any big companies any major ideas. But yeah, it's not a terrible time. I wasn't bored by the movie. There were some moments of unpredictability, so I will also give the movie that. But hey, I just feel like this is another one of those sequels that didn't need to be made. The first movie was so popular, so what'd you think was going to happen? It sounds like I would give this movie a lower rating, but again, it had some unique ideas behind it, but it doesn't really land nearly as hard as it should have. So I liked what they tried to do, but you get my point at this point. So yeah, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter or Instagram or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.